every time that a wolf came, I defended my flock from the wolf. And then when a bear came, I defended my flock from the bear. And every single time there was a different giant or a different predator that came about, I was able to defend my flock and be successful.
So pretty. And so we're at P.F. Chang's. Beautiful, isn't it? So cool. So I'm here, our last day at our convention, and I'm standing in front of the Marriott. Wanted to show you a little bit. I love those palm trees, and the Hilton is right there. Wanted to show you the grounds here, how beautiful the grounds are. Convention center is beyond that tree right there. So that's turf they have on the ground, and it's not grass. So it's much easier to maintain.
I needed to play sports or to chase our passions. But I was surrounded by a bunch of people that had good, strong values. It taught me what it meant to be a person of character. And that to me was the greatest thing. When I look back, I'm so grateful that I was raised by my parents, raised in the household that I was. But being raised in Iowa, where it's just, everybody you met, good people, still go back there to this day and kind of salt of the earth. You know what you're going to get, you know what they're going to stand for, what they're going to believe in. And so much of who we become is based on our experience and our upbringing. And I was very fortunate to be raised in Iowa and be raised around really, really good people. And I believe that's kind of a part of who I really become.
Surround yourself by the best, right?
That's right. Always, always.
You've accomplished so much in your NFL career. Many consider you the greatest NFL player that was never drafted, but you were one of the greatest NFL players. So why do you think you were so successful in your NFL career in football?
Well, I think there's always a lot of factors, but the biggest thing for me is that I always looked at myself. That there was never a time, I talk about the NFL and kind of fast forward a little bit to the NFL, but I remember when I went to the NFL, and really my first year starting, I was able to win the MVP and won the Super Bowl that year. One of the questions you always get is, did you know that you were going to have this kind of success? And whether I knew it was going to be exactly like that or not, I always felt like I was going to be successful. And you talk about your upbringing. So I was raised in a Catholic and Christian home, and so faith was always a big part of my upbringing. And so, spent a lot of time reading the Bible through my years growing up. And we all know the David and Goliath story. Obviously, fits the mold for me a little bit, but David and Goliath. But my favorite part of the David and Goliath story is when David shows up on the battlefield, he has a conversation with King Saul. And King Saul basically looked at him because he was really just going to deliver lunch to his brothers who were actually in the army. And he's like, why do you think, when David said, hey, I'll go fight Goliath, it's like, why do you think you can fight Goliath? Why do you think of all these warriors and all these people that have been trained and that have been out here, for months, going back, why do you think you can show up, as a shepherd boy, just right up, away from your flock, right off your field, and think that you can defeat Goliath? And I love what David said, because David said, for his entire life he'd been a shepherd. And so he had this flock in which he had to protect. And he said, every time that, a wolf came, I defended my flock from the wolf. football. And then when a bear came, I defended my flock from the bear. And every single time there was a different giant or a different predator that came about, I was able to defend my flock and be successful. And that's exactly how I felt when I got to the NFL. Is I know nobody had ever, everybody was hanging on to kind of the negative parts of my story. Well, he sat on the bench for 4 years in college. So that's how they saw me when he got to the NFL. Well, this guy, he sat on the bench for 4 years. How could he ever be successful? I got cut by the Green Bay Packers. This is a guy that got cut by the Packers. How could he ever be successful? Played arena football, did all of this stuff. And for me, all I would look at was those moments that I did have. So in college, I played 1 year at my college, and I was the player of the year in our conference when I was in college. I played 3 years in arena football. We went to the championship game twice, and I was voted the
quite surprised, I gotta say that. First of all, I think I've been instructing since 2009, so someone lost a few years for me. But it has been probably one of the most rewarding things and one of the most fun classes that I have the opportunity to instruct. This resort the second home is practically two specialties, and I really enjoy it. Shout out to all our people from Costa Rica. All the people that have been in my classes and stuff, appreciate you. You guys bring a lot to the class, and it's been very, very rewarding. Thank you very much.
This event was a parallel event. People from all over the world came to this event when we launched. And at that moment, we had our 5 goals that we discussed. And we had 2 concepts, basically. We discussed inclusion and equity. We discussed sustainable and inclusive for all. We had relevant partners there, people that are actually doing the job now. And we had people that were thinking about the future and what they could do to contribute to this process. So it was a very successful event. It was held at Fordham University at the very same time. And these are our goals. Now, I'm here today to talk about having you all sign our global charter. The actual charter has been signed by many of our countries who are the OFC chapters. And we're hoping that NAR will also sign up. Some of our local associations have already signed up. Miami has signed up. Hudson Gateway has signed up. And we will help you to orchestrate events in your local market to help your members become part of the global charter. Not only doing something for their communities, but also enriching the lives of everyone.